Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't see, you know, if anybody can go ahead and give me some background on Amara, that would be great. I'd really appreciate it because I haven't been able to find anything really about this chick, other than that she's endorsed. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Mm, 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 Okay. Hey. Whoa. Why isn't my? Hmm. 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 Boom. 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 Mm-mm. What is gyro? Mm-hmm. Do 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 do. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. I don't dance. I don't play. I just get my Louis bag, then I wave it around in the air. You know, that's the song that I'm going with today. Swag. Swag, 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 swag. I remember when they had those songs. Swag, 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 swag. Everything was just swag, 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 swag. Swag, 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 swag. You could make a whole song. Swag, 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 swag. That was those were the days. Those were the days. Man, I'm starting to get old. I'm starting to get old. I saw a a Twitter post. It was a Twitter post of some high school students that were pretending to be back in the 2000s. They were doing some sort of 2000s cosplay or whatever, throwback, and they were accurate. I mean, they had the tall tees, they had the baggy pants, they had everything. And I remember when all that shit was fly. I remember when all that shit was fly. I still might even have some shit from back in the day. When that shit was fire. I remember that shit from way back in the day. And and yeah, when I saw these kids wearing that stuff, and then they were playing Juvenile, Back That Ass Up, and they were calling that old school. I had to I had to feel the top of my head. I could feel my receding hairline. I suddenly had a pain in my ankle, and my knee started to hurt. And then I started thinking about this term phlebitis. I don't have phlebitis. I don't know what phlebitis is, but the word just popped up into my head. Good Lord, I'm getting older. I'm getting older. I'm no longer cute. I'm no longer a kid. Those guys are kids. They were imitating me when I was a kid. Oh, good God. Ugh. It's fun, innocuous moments like that can surprisingly, um, make you suddenly aware of your own mortality. Look, I'm getting closer to halfway done with this whole life experience thing, and it's just so odd to be able to look back and to be able to say 20 years ago, blah blah blah, 10 years ago, and remember the shit. What the fuck? Oh, good God, I'm joined in here by Vander Mayo. Oh my gosh, Vander Mayo. That's a dude from when I was a kid. That was a dude. I remember he used to look like Lil Bow Wow. I remember I was on a basketball team way back in the day. This was back when I was in, I think, 7th grade. This would be like in the 2000s sometime. And I think it's 2001, like 9/11-ish. And I believe I was on the 7th grade basketball team. And I had a friend, Vander Mayo. He was the other black dude on the team. He was the other dude that had skills on the team. And of course, I was the nerdy black dude, so I had no skills. And that was, kind of, I guess, a running gag. I think my nickname at that point was Airball Kenny. So yeah, at this point in my life, I was a fat kid. I was a fat kid, and I had boobs and everything like that. And there was this dreaded moment in every fat kid's existence, and that is the shirts versus skins. Picking teams for shirts versus skins. Not only are you picking teams, and there's nothing more shameful to a fat kid than the process of picking teams, because, your own physical inadequacies are being made very apparent in that episode. And then I remember combining that with the fact that it was shirts versus skins, and I was a fat kid. And when you are a fat kid, you usually have boobs, which you're trying desperately to hide. As a fat kid, as a little fat boy, you have boobs that you try desperately to hide. You'll hunch your back, you'll wear loose shirts, you'll do everything you can. You'll scrunch your arms like this. There's fat kids walking around like this right now, so that you can't see the fact that they have boobs, but you can tell. Oh, trust me. Little kids, you're not fooling nobody. These are the sort of fat kids that wear t-shirts when they jump into the pool. You know what I mean? Me, I just stayed away from water. But, if I did go into a pool at this point in my life, I would keep my shirt on. So we had these douchebags for our coaches back in the day. They would hire, they would hire frat douchebags from the local college to go ahead and coach the little kids. And they would have all sorts of great psychological fun with us. I mean, like, they would terrorize us, man. They would terrorize us. You have to understand that these are college kids. And at that time, I thought college kids were adults. No, they're not. Those are kids. I mean, like, they're adults on paper, and, but the development, the mental development of the average college student, especially the average frat monkey douchebag, is not too far beyond somebody who is in middle school. So they were bullies, hardcore. And I remember they made us split up into, shirts versus skins. And, of course, it was the two fat kids. It was me and a kid named Josh. We were the two kids that were left in this whole, selection affair. And I remember they asked me, they said, Ken, or Kenny, do you want to be on shirts or skins? And of course, I said shirts. And then they looked at Josh. And they said, Josh, do you want to be on shirts or skins? And Josh is like, shirts. And me, I'm just like, oh, shit. And of course, what happens next? They turn to me and they say, Ken, all right, your skins. Now I have a split-second decision to make at this point. Should I protest? Should I make a big deal of it? Should I say, no, I don't want to be on shirts? Or do I just take off my shirt and pretend like nothing's wrong? Pretend like I don't have boobs? Pretend like I'm just like all the other kids? And you know what I did? I just took off my shirt. Everything was chill for a second. Nobody was making any jokes. Nobody was like staring at me too hard or anything like that. It was great. And then out of the corner of my eye, I see running down the court a big afro, a big ludicrous afro. This was the style that Vander had at the time. He had a big ludicrous fro. I was jealous. I wanted a fro so bad, but my mom, just conservative parents, they always cutting my hair short. He runs down the field with a cup in hand. He has one of those little Dixie cups that they have near the Gatorade dispenser, the water dispenser. And one of those things. Runs up to me, grabs my boob, and proceeds to simulate milking it into this cup. Then he says, Milkies! Oh my gosh, I was devastated at the time. I was devastated. But I had to pretend. I had to pretend that everything was okay. I had to pretend like, hey, everything is just peachy keen. I was laughing along with it too. But I have to say that one moment, that is a moment that has stuck with me for the rest of my life. I don't think I've ever been that humiliated before in my life. And then after that, I became a comedian. And, No. After that, I mean, I don't really remember being fat. I don't remember being a fat kid. That was the highest level of fat shaming that I'd ever witnessed in my entire life. Prior to that, people would tease me about being a little kid and having, all of this mass. People would be like, I had Nigerian relatives, right, would come up to me and they would say things like, they'd eyeball me and they would say, little boy with such big boobs. I had man titties. I had titties. I was a fat kid. I was eating too much Little Debbie snacks, too much McDonald's. I was just eating like crap. I was a little kid. I was fat. I had boobs, insecure, and yeah, that's one of the funniest, or I guess one of the clearest memories that I have of being from the 2000s era. And it's one of the clearest memories that I have of the homie Vandermeer. Thanks for joining us this morning, dude. I really do appreciate it. And go fuck yourself for scarring me for life with that move. I really do appreciate your joining me here right now. And yeah, again, go fuck yourself. Oh man, we have a good show today. Really interesting topics that I want to cover. Real interesting topics. We're gonna call in. Sorry about that. We're gonna call in. We have our call in number available. It's 701-801-9651. You can go ahead and call that number, and once you do, we'll be able to get you on the line. Just a second here. Let me go ahead and actually load up the chat line. Just a second here, in case anybody is calling, and I don't wanna miss it. I don't wanna. Let's see. Just a second here. Launchpad. Free conference call. Wait, is this it? Is this it? Hosts. All right, and then free. Meeting. Yes, I'm hosting the meeting. Yes, I'm hosting the meeting. Yes, it's on. Host meeting online. Yes. Open free conference call. Yes. Yes, web controls. Yes, we're in with the web controls. Yes, we're in with the web controls. So just a second here. Okay, all right, and we're live on Twitch. I just want to let you guys know we are live on Twitcheroo. And then we can go ahead and enter this 1-881-9651. Okay. Yeah. Look, the app is up.
Please announce yourself.
Okay. All right. Okay. And we're connected. Okay. So I will go ahead and switch cameras really quick. Okay, we're connected and we're ready to take calls. So anybody wants to call in, 701-801-9651. You'll be patched through, and then yeah, it looks like it's we're getting into the nitty gritty, the meat and bones of our program today. And I wanted to start off today's program by talking about Vanderman, I'm fucking dying. Yes, you're fucking dying, and I fucking died that day too, Vander. You know, I'm glad that you could enjoy me recalling a tremendous amount of pain that you were able to dispense upon me. And all I wanted to do was fit in. But you know what? It's great because, you know, that bit of fat shaming, that bit of bullying pushed me to be the sexy flexy, a six pack ab having, you know, Flexosaurus that you see, you know, rocking the mic as we speak. So I want to thank you for that very traumatic episode. It helped me grow. It really did. It helped me grow. I'm a better person for it. I lacked the only problem with, you know, that sort of tough love is that I lack empathy. You know, other people's pain doesn't really, you know, I feel it, but, you know, it just doesn't pop. Doesn't pop nearly as much as all the pain that I have to endure. Anyway, so we're getting into today's discussion. And I want to start off by talking about Kanye West. You know, Kanye West, he's been in the news cycle a lot lately. And I think that there's been a program that's being run against him. I really do think that he's being set up to be Cosby'd. They're really setting him up for a big fall, and they're setting him up to be some sort of racial showcasing of tremendous violence. I think that Kanye West is going to suffer a high-tech lynching, and it'll likely, you know, come in the form of some sort of charges or allegations. His wife is going to leave him, and then black people will be compelled to say, "Oh, you know, stupid Kanye West, you know, it was your own fault that you got wrapped up into whatever it is that they're going to wrap him up into." I fear for his safety. I really do. He's making some very impactful moves and saying some very impactful things, and they're giving him a treatment that I think is really only reserved for people that they are preparing to lynch. Uh, for example, he recently was in Uganda, I believe, and he met with the president there. And a lot of people are saying, because of the news, a lot of the people are saying that, Kanye West went over to Africa and told them that they had to make Wakanda and told them that they had to make Jurassic Park, blah, blah, blah. When that wasn't what he was saying at all. I mean, he was giving a very, very, very salient and impactful message about teaching hospitality to Africans. And that's something that, teaching the hospitality business to Africans. I'm not talking about, how to be a good and moral host. I mean, Africans take the cake on that. We've hosted everybody on our continent, and everybody is treated better than, the natives. That's for damn sure. And no, it's the hospitality business. That is hotels, resorts, vacation getaways. And he went there and he saw just how beautiful Africa is and just how ripe the environment is to be a destination for people around the world, and a world-class destination with the likes of a Jurassic Park being there. I don't see why that's so. I don't see why that's so. What is that? Ridiculous. But I can see that there's a program out there that is being run by the media to make you view what he said over there as ridiculous, to make the idea of Africans being taught how to run world-class resorts as ridiculous. If he went over to Uganda and did a Malia Trump, went over there, took some photos, didn't say shit, handed out a few stuff. I mean, like, he did all this stuff too, but handed out a few things to the locals and then, took some photo ops. They would have been totally fine with that. But the fact that he went with the head of state there and had very serious discussions about Uganda's future and some of the options that their economy has to diversify, I think they're going to malign that. Now, here's a twist to the whole Kanye West narrative. A lot of the narrative has been centered on ridiculing Kanye West for not falling in line with the DNC, with all of the DNC hand-picked candidates and hand-picked talking points. And this has been seen as a detrimental. Sorry about that. I'm getting a bunch of new matches on my Bumble here, so I'm being distracted by pussy. My bad. But yeah, man. So yeah, with the situation with Kanye West, we have a situation where Kanye West isn't just talking out of his ass. He's putting his money where his mouth is. Most of the criticism that has come from Kanye West is recently has come from lockstep DNC advocates, lockstep so-called liberals, people, especially victims of racism, who would classify themselves as Democrats. This is very interesting because, people talk about, what Kanye is doing and who he's hanging out with and what hat he's wearing. But let's see where the money is going. And this story is definitely one we're taking a look at. Just a second here. Man, just a second here. Chrome. Let's see. No. Okay, there we go. And that's our main window. And then here's our cam frame. Just a second here. Yes, a second here. There we go. There we go. I'm there. There's me. Okay. Let's go back. Let's go back and try that transition again. All right. Now here's a story from Fox News, and it's being published by Ryan Gyarados. So Ryan Gados. Sorry about that. I was getting my Pokemon on, and let's see. What is this? Oh, mad as fuck. Okay. Ryan Gados. Okay. He's looks like a suspect. Looks like a suspect. Okay, Ryan Gados. Breaking news editor for Fox News. I write all about sports, hip hop, and other things. So this guy monitors Negroes for a living. And that's what I picked up. This is a Negro monitor, and we have a lot of these, by the way. They work for conservative or liberal outfits, and they're very concerned with what you are doing. They will write everything about what you do, and they'll often find their way into it through sports and rap. So anytime somebody's talking about sports and rap, and they are of a paler hue, I definitely put them in the Negro monitoring committee. So yes, Ryan Gados is very concerned with what black people are up to, and he gets paid probably pretty well to feed his curiosity. This isn't something that is just a hobby for him. He writes for Fox News about this. Anyway, so Ryan, he writes that Kanye West donates more than $70,000 to Chicago mayoral candidate endorsed by Chance the Rapper. Very interesting. Okay, and then this is Kanye West when he was in the White House, getting his grill on. Let's see. Rapper Kanye West donated more than $70,000 to a Chicago mayoral candidate who is now two hip-hop artists in her corner. West, a Chicago native, donated $73,540 to Amara Enia, I think it's Amara Enia's campaign to the campaign, the Chicago Tribune reported. The donation is the equivalent to the amount of fines she faced from the Illinois State Election Board of Election in connection to her 2015 campaign. Ania's staff confirmed to the Tribune that she used West's money to pay the fines. Ania, the director of the Austin Chamber of Commerce, dropped her brief bid for mayor 4 years after the signatures she collected appeared on the ballot were challenged, according to the Tribune. By the way, these challenges to signatures is a common tactic used by politicians that are trying to undermine the black vote. Anytime you hear about a politician challenging signatures, of another politician, take a look at who is, who's being affected by that. I do recall Barack Obama using a similar technique to take out his Chicago-based enemies when he was making his run for state elected office. I believe he challenged the signatures on challenged signatures on a petition that was supposed to put one of his opponents on the ballot, and she was unable to run, and he ran virtually unopposed and won that seat. I think this was after his loss to Bobby Rush. Anyway, so you guys can look up more information on that. Amara Enia, let's see, and she was participating in the Chicago workers' strike, hotel workers' strike. I remember that. Let's see. She never closed her campaign account and was fined for not filing campaign finance reports each quarter, which is required by law. She was given until December 20th to pay the fines. The Amara Enia campaign thanks Chicago native Kanye West for his generous action, end quote. A campaign statement read, quote, Amara's campaign is energizing people around the city with bold ideas and solutions that move Chicago forward. We are excited to engage people of all walks of life as we focus our efforts on getting on the ballot. The donation comes on the heels of fellow Chicago rapper Chance the Rapper endorsing Ania. He said he is endorsing her because they share the same vision of how to improve the city. So, you know, I don't know what to think about Ania's politics. I'm not too sure about that. But here's what I will say about the move. It looks like Kanye West is truly on that independent tip. I didn't hear anything about her being a Democrat. I didn't hear anything about her being a Republican. I didn't hear any reports on any sort of partisan activity. And even when you go on Amara's website, there isn't, I don't see anything that says DNC on here. I have to say that the political handlers that are behind Chance the Rapper are pretty astute in making these moves. Pretty astute. And they're looking pretty good getting this nomination, getting this endorsement, this veritable endorsement, this monetary endorsement from Kanye West. Now, what I will say is this. I think it's very suspect that, she has not gotten her paperwork in order for all this time. I think $73,000 mistake. That is what she racked up by not reporting her campaign finances, not having her papers straight. That's something that makes me a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. The whole apparatus of Chicago in the hands of somebody who doesn't have their papers straight is a little risky. But at the same time, she doesn't strike me as outwardly evil like Rahm Emanuel. And man, the people of Chicago, I don't know if they can survive too much more of Rahm Emanuel's reign of terror. We're talking about just incident after incident happening, and even other white people have called out. In the case of I think it was one of the Kennedy clan. One of the Kennedys called out Rahm Emanuel for working to keep black people out of Chicago. And that's just something that we've seen occur throughout the, again, reign of Mayor Rahm Emanuel. So I truly believe that, there is potential for better candidates. And I don't believe that the Democrats are necessarily going to be the ones to provide that candidate. Now, we do know that Chance the Rapper is DNC affiliated. Let's see if I can pull this picture up. Chance the Rapper. Ken Bennett. Obama. Okay, so image. So yeah, this is Ken Bennett. This is Barack Obama's, or this is Chance the Rapper's father, and a politically active insider, large landowner, I believe. Basically, just one of these good fella, rich Democrats out here, pulling political levers and making money where he can. And this is a picture of Chance the Rapper, a very subdued Chance the Rapper, and his little brother meeting up with Barack Obama. And I've reported on this in the past, but there's a long-term play going on here. Let's see. If we do that, if we add LGBT to our search and everything like that, and we see Chance's brother who was named the Urban Outfitters LGBT spokesman. So LGBT Bennett Urban Outfitters. So yeah, this is what is his name? The gay Bennett. This is the Taylor Bennett. Yeah, the homosexual brother of Chance the Rapper, and he is the spokesperson for Urban Outfitters' efforts to, I guess, turn your kids. That's what this all looks like. It's just super kiddie language, super kiddie letters, and super kiddie colors, and all this stuff. And you got a rapper and everything like that, and good God, oh Jesus. Anyway, so yeah, that is, I think, the long-term play from our friends, the Bennetts, and everything like that. That is their DNC platform, I suspect. But they are endorsing this person, Amara, for mayor. And this is her website. I'm sure that we will hear more about her, as this campaign wraps up. This donation is definitely going to put her on in the view of a lot of people. So, just basic, left-wing stuff. Public Bank for Chicago. I haven't heard that. Let's see. Cooperative City. Community benefits and agreements. Fiscal responsibility. Sounds very socialist-y. I like it. I mean, like these are all nice sounding words. I don't see anything about sanctuary cities at all either, which is great. These all seems to be issues that affect black people, and I don't see too much distraction going on when taking a look at this. So empower cities to self-monitor, dedicate percentage of CPD budget for community empowered safety program with the Chicago Police Department to replace the now defunct CAPS program. That's good. Restorative justice is violent prevention. Expand implementation of restorative justice models in communities as and schools as a violent prevention and community building strategy. Strong blocks equals safe blocks. Allocate larger percentage of overall police budget to creating building sustainable block clubs across the city. Man, that would be great if the police were just kind of like a community organizing force that that just got you to love your community a little bit more, and put on stuff for little kids, and just watch the street for bad guys. That would be great. But they're just on this whole Negro beating tip. You know what I mean? That's just something that's really odd to me anyway. So education, Office of Equity. Yep, that sounds good. Expedite processes for an elected school board. That sounds good. Let's see. Standardized accountability measures. All of this seems like, ways to take away power from white supremacists and give them to victims of white supremacy. I really do support this. I like this. I like this. I'm really curious to see where this goes. And, one thing I do like about, one thing that you have to keep in mind when considering Kanye West's actions is that all of these solutions, while they sound great and everything like that, at one point, some people will say, hey, that sounds like socialism. You can't be helping people with the government. What the fuck? You're helping black people, da-da-da-da-da. And I don't think anybody has really taken too deep a look into these questions, into these topics, because if you look at the comment section on Fox News, you'll see that the rabid racists that populate that site, they're still, extolling the free thought virtues of Kanye West and not really looking at the issues of the person that he's endorsing, because a lot of these people are A lot of these people are in support of it, or they see that there's potential for good here, and I think that might be what we need is just getting out of the whole false left-right dichotomy and be more focused on the issues and more focused on the facts. And of course, you got people, talking about whether her message or platform is, she needs to learn the rules of running a campaign. And yeah, I really do think that, you're 73K in the hole. I don't think that, just to start off, I think it's great that you were bailed out by Kanye West, but you shouldn't be relying on celebrity bailouts or government bailouts for that matter. And yeah, man, report. What the hell was that? You just didn't report anything for years, and you racked up 70K. That's just suspect to me. So yeah, Kanye West donating over $70,000 to help this lady out in her quest to become mayor of Chicago. I think it's a very, I think it's very positive. I think it's a very positive development, and I think it's very interesting because it doesn't follow the whole Democrat Republican nonsense that they've been pushing in the media, and this isn't an anti-black move, or a move that could be considered anti-black or perceived as anti-black. I don't see it. So yeah, man, Kanye West he made a smart move by giving some money to this candidate. And then if the candidate turns out to be crap, they could just he could be like, hey, look, I was just trying to do a nice thing for a fellow black person, and that's it. But yeah, Kanye West, Kanye 2024. I would say Kanye West 2020, but that's very unlikely. But 2024, is looking like it could happen. It could happen. All right. Anyway, so let's see. So on to our next topic. Now, there's a question that I want to ask, and I want you to consider it before you answer it in your own head. And the question is, can a black man really be free? Can we ever be free from scrutiny, especially free from scrutiny after we've been accused, free from scrutiny after we've been exonerated, or better yet, free from scrutiny after we have paid our so-called debt to society? After you've done the crime, you do the time. And I want to know, can we, as a society, let a brother live? Can we, as a society, ever practice forgiveness for a black man? Can we, is a black man ever free in this society, even after he is told that he is free to go? I will go ahead and the lines are open at 701-801-9651. I will be right back. I'm going to go ahead and take a brief break, and then we will go ahead and delve into this question. Yeah. All right. Yo. Hey. Hey. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Brief pause and action, everything like that. I hate to take those. Always hate to take those. And what is that? What do we have right now? We're on to our next story. So check this out. We have our next story. Okay. Yeah, we have our next story. And our next story, it comes to us from the Atlanta Black Star. It is about Ray Carouth. Now, I've been seeing a lot of stories about Ray Carouth as of late. He's back in the news, and he's about to be released from prison after 18 years. He's about to be released from prison after serving 18 years for, I guess, arranging the murder for hire plot that killed his girlfriend and left his unborn child motherless. So, if you guys recall the story, Ray Carouth was an NFL player. And this story is basically from the AP Newswire. And this is reposted by the Atlanta Black Star. And let's see. The story reads, there is so much hate towards me. Ray Carouth concerned about public image upon release from prison. Ray Carouth is a free man. The former NFL wide receiver was released from prison Monday after serving more than 18 years for conspiring to murder the mother of his unborn child. The Carolina Panthers' 1997 first-round draft pick was released from Sampson Correctional Institution in Clinton, North Carolina, after completing his sentence of 18 to 24 years. And then you see this image. You see this image a lot. You know, a black man just freed. That's a favorite one in the media. Let's see. So, Carouth did not speak to reporters as he left the prison wearing a knit cap and an unzipped jacket on a chilly morning with temperatures in the high 30s. There was a smattering of applause as Carouth got into a white SUV and was whisked away from the prison. Carouth, now 44, was found guilty for orchestrating a plot to kill Cherika Adams on November 16, 1999, in Charlotte, North Carolina, to avoid paying child support. Adams was shot 4 times while driving her car, but managed to make a 911 call that helped implicate Carouth. Adams fell into a coma and died less than a month later after the shooting. The child she was carrying, Chandler Lee Adams, was delivered by emergency cesarean section, but suffers from permanent brain damage and cerebral palsy. Oh, just ghastly. Let's see. Last week, he told WSOC TV in Charlotte in a telephone interview, quote, I truly want to be forgiven. I just truly want to be forgiven, end quote. Carouth went on to say that he was, quote, somewhat frightened, end quote, about his release, adding that, quote, I'm nervous just about how I'll be perceived by the public. I still have to work. I still have to live. I have to exist out there. And it seems like there's just so much hate and negativity towards me, end quote. Carouth has repeatedly said that he wants to have a relationship with his son, who remains in the custody of his grandmother, Sandra Adams, who has raised him since birth. Adams previously said that has previously said she would be there when Carouth got out of prison, but she was not present on Monday. Carouth's arrest charges of conspiracy and attempted murder 9 days after Carouth's arrest on charges of conspiracy and attempted murder 9 days after the shooting sent shockwaves through the Panthers organization. And I believe he was, just a side note, I think he was hiding in a trunk. I think he was hiding in a trunk of a car that was parked at a hotel. Ugh. So stupid. Just take the L. Like, seriously, he could have spent 18 years paying child support instead of spending 18 years in prison. Oh, my God. What an idiot. Ugh. Murder for hire. So fucking pussy, too. Just can't even do it yourself. Anyway. So the team released Carouth, and the NFL suspended him indefinitely after he fled the Charlotte area after posting $3 million bail and was found by federal authorities hiding in the trunk of a car in Tennessee, 500 miles from Charlotte. Okay. Panthers center Frank Garcia, who was teammates with Carouth for more than 2 seasons, said that the players were stunned when they heard news of Carouth's possible involvement in the murder about 20 miles from the team's downtown stadium in the affluent section of South Charlotte. Quote, "It would be like finding out the guy sitting in the cubicle next to you was arrested for murder," end quote. Garcia said, quote, you just don't always know people as well as you think you do," end quote. Garcia said Carouth was a little shy and kept mostly to himself, but he and Carouth had a passion for helping kids, reading books and reading books to elementary school students. It was a difficult time in Panthers history. Man, that sucks, man. Carouth. And I think the chick that he killed was a stripper. And he was just so beside himself at the prospect of having a child with a stripper that he took her out. Or he hired somebody to take her out. It's just fucking disgusting, man. Let's see. It was a difficult time in Panthers history. Some of the players were called out of practice to testify at the trial. Those not involved would spend time huddling in the players' lounge, watching the trial on court TV. Quote, that is one time you were actually hiding from cameras, end quote. Garcia said, quote, you just wanted to stay low and not be involved, all along asking yourself, did I miss any signs? How is anybody capable of this? End quote. While in jail, Carouth worked as a barber, making $1 per hour, according to North Carolina Department of Public Safety program, Jerry Higgins. That's a far cry from the $3.7 million contract Carouth signed with the Panthers after being drafted, although he never collected all of that money since he was released in the third year of the deal. Carouth's future is uncertain. He was taken to an undisclosed location after his release. He will be on a 9-month post-release program, according to Higgins. He would need special permission from a case officer to leave the state or country during that span, but is free to go wherever he pleases after 9 months. Oof. Man. Prison. That sucks. Never say never to a black man in jail. And, man, it sucks that after all this time, I think that all of this is really gross, you know. His crimes are really gross. But, man, the dude spent 18 years in prison. Isn't it time to just leave him alone? I see so many articles about Ray Carouth. So many questions asking, do you forgive Ray Carouth? Yada, yada, yada. You know, should Ray Carouth get the children? Or the child? And yeah, I mean, like, he should be granted some sort of visitation to the child. He should be allowed to have some sort of relationship with the child. I know their relationship started, in a really screwed up way, behind killing his mother, or having his mother killed. But the reality is, that's his kid. And he served his time. And if you're saying to yourself, regardless, he doesn't deserve it, the question is, can a black man ever go free? I mean, can a brother ever just can a brother just ever do their time and just be let go? I have this thing where, if somebody did their time, I usually just say, hey, they did their time. I'll consider them violent, as far as, that they done their time. Like, shit, they did their time in a very violent environment. And, you got to watch out for any negative pitfalls that may arise from that. But good Lord, man, can a brother live? I mean, like, yo, dude, can a brother live? I mean, as simple as that. Ray Carouth, we have him documented for making a series of very stupid moves. Very stupid moves. Very dangerous and violent moves. But we also have documented that he has spent over 18 years in prison. And, man, I think that the homie needs to be given time to be made whole again. 20 years, nearly 18 years, man. Nearly 18, over 18 years, man. Come on. We saw a woman who is a criminal, who committed criminal acts, rather, impersonating a police officer, filing a false police report, endangering the safety of a child. We saw the mother of the child who was violated forgive that racist witch. If we can forgive that racist witch so quickly, if we can forgive killer cops, if we can forgive all types of monsters, I think it goes without saying that we should be able to forgive and move on with Ray Carouth. As dumb as his actions were. He's paid his time. He's paid his debt to society. He's in a program. Got him. And do you believe that? Cutting hair for $1 an hour? The poverty wages. Have you ever cut hair? That's not fun. Cutting disgusting prison heads, too. Imagine all the dandruff and ringworm and lice you have to crawl through there. Being a jailhouse barber. Disgusting. Disgusting. $1 an hour. Disgusting. Can a black man ever be free? We have our next story. It's going to be about R. Kelly. R. Kelly is not free. R. Kelly is being hounded incessantly by the media. R. Kelly, along with Kobe Bryant, are the next Me Too targets. Now, mind you, R. Kelly, he has one advantage. All of his victims are non-white, or all the alleged victims are non-white. The moment they bring out a white girl to say that R. Kelly violated me, touched me, did anything else, put me in a closet, do anything, R. Kelly looked at me wrong, you can guarantee that dude is going to be, incarcerated. He's going to get Cosby'd and clapped up really quick. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take a brief break real quick. I'll be right back, and we will cover R. Kelly. This break will be right back. And by the way, with these breaks, if you want your commercial or anything like that to play during these breaks, feel free to, get at me. I will, I'm accepting sponsorship. So if you want to sponsor the Daily Sesh and everything like that, feel free. I'll be right back. All right. Heyo, I'm back. I told you the break would be really quick. I just needed to make a tinkle. Why? Because I am loaded up with water. I don't know if you guys know about this substance here. It's 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen, and I think they're connected through ionic covalent bonds. And when you drink this stuff, um, man, it will help you do all sorts of things. It'll clear up your skin. It'll help you lose weight. It'll fill you up. Oftentimes, when you feel hungry, you might just need this stuff. What is this stuff? It's water. It's just water. Look, it's just water. It's nothing too crazy. It's nothing special or anything like that. It's just water. There's no secret pH that's required. There's no secret brand that I'm gonna say. I will say that I personally have a preference for spring waters. Because they come from natural sources. They come, out of the ground, like all water, by the way, even, tap water, but the thing about tap water is that, it usually comes from a municipal source and, that is connected to the local water stream, and then they have to refine it through, reverse osmosis typically, and that's how they filter it. Whereas with spring water, it comes straight from the natural spring. Some spring waters are filtered through natural processes, so you just get the water from the ground. It's not pasteurized or it's not retreated or anything like that. And that's just my preference. Spring water is actually a little bit more expensive than purified drinking water, but it's not more expensive than all of these boutique waters that purport to have specialized pHs or anything like that. Nah, no. If I'm gonna recommend any water that you get the cheapest water that you can get. And if you do have the option, get the cheapest spring water that you can get, because you'll never go wrong. I mean, it's just water from the ground. So yeah, that's why I'm using the bathroom or taking a few extra breaks. I've just been drinking my gallon of water a day, and I know this looks like I didn't drink too much, but I had other bottles of water that I had to finish this morning before I started on this. So I'm drinking over a gallon of water a day. I'm having very healthy pisses. My ejaculations are gigantic. That's something that is really fun, and that's one benefit of drinking water. And again, my skin has cleared up. I was having a lot of skin issues and everything like that, and those have cleared up, and my bloating is down. I mean, oddly enough, drinking more water caused me to be a little less bloated, and that probably is because I'm drinking less sodium. Or sorry, I'm eating less junk food, which contains a lot of sodium, which will bloat you out. So yeah, water. I totally recommend it. I know I just cut a brief promo for water, but a lot of y'all need that shit. A lot of y'all don't know that water is really good for you and can have such great health benefits. And then a lot of you guys are convinced that you got to get a special water to get all the benefits of water. No, dude, all of this pH stuff is just is marketing poppycock to justify charging premiums for products that you already use and enjoy on a regular basis, that you don't need a whole bunch of extra nonsense to take part in. So yeah, I totally recommend that when you are thirsty, drink water, and when you are hungry, try drinking water before you rush to get another snack. Put down the snacks, by the way. Just put down the snacks. Good Lord. Put down all the snacks. Part of this is just me talking to myself. You know what I mean? But for you, yeah, put down the snacks. You can't you can't work out a bad diet, So pick up some water. Anyway, So our question for this morning continues. This morning, I asked the question, is a black man ever free in America? You know, these are the questions that I have to ask. I have to ask, can a black man be convicted of a crime, serve his time, and then be free to go? Debt to society. Can a black man be exonerated of all charges and still be free to go? Is this a possibility in 2018? I contend that it might not be. Or it's an opportunity is quickly becoming not the case. We all know that innocent until proven guilty does not exist for black males. Just simply does not. It doesn't exist for black people. But we know that innocent until proven guilty, that standard just does not apply to us. And in the case of R. Kelly, this is a man who has been found innocent. Of all, innocent. Innocent. Let's go to the dual screen. We got this channel, TV1. They're coming out with a new documentary called Surviving R. Kelly. Good Lord. Good Lord. R. Kelly has been the target of butthurt black people who can't stand to see a brother getting it in out here. Butthurt. That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to call these people. Butthurt. You know, a lot of black people have been trying to snitch on R. Kelly. I want you. I want the white boys to take care of you. Crying to the white man to give a fuck. Crying. They've been trying to do this for years. They put him on trial, and he beat the case. Beat the case. So my question is, when are you going to leave R. Kelly alone? And the question is never. He will never be left alone. These people will hound him until they convince some white people to give a fuck. White people. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to compel to white people. Black people, we've heard this story a million times. We've heard about R. Kelly, and everybody has made their decision whether to accept the fact that a black man can be a freak on some Hugh Hefner shit. And then there are others who say, my baby daddy was, out here getting it in. And I can't stand to see another brother getting it in like that. These are the stances that we are forced to take. Just a second here. Yeah, that was just real brief. Sorry about that. Anyway, so we're talking about R. Kelly. And we're talking about a new documentary. Oh my God. It's not even just a documentary. It's a docu-series. There's more than one episode. That TV1, that the apparatchiks at TV1, and I say they're apparatchiks. These guys are the people at TV1, they are a bunch of black people who are auditioning for better jobs on, major platforms. That's what, is going on at TV1. I don't think, they're necessarily too interested over at TV1 in being at the pinnacle of journalism or anything like that. I've not seen a single field report, for instance, from TV1. I don't see any live streams of, wild shit popping off in TV1. So yeah, I don't know, their whole news credentials is very specious, but these people, TV1, they are setting their sights on R. Kelly. They're trying to convince, a whole bunch of racist white supremacists that, R. Kelly needs to be the next lynching target. And as we've seen earlier this week, the new lynching target for the suspected white supremacist is definitely is definitely Kobe Bryant. It's not going to be R. Kelly. R. Kelly is just too, his victims have been black for the most part, and white supremacists. They don't really give a shit about black victims, or his alleged victims have been black. Sorry, I don't mean to call them victims without any sort of establishment that a crime was committed against them. But yeah, or any wrongdoing was committed against them. He might be a dog or something like that, but I don't know if being a dog is, rises to the level of, legal victimhood. You know what I mean? I just, dog instinct chicks out. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this article from TV One. They're talking about the docuseries that they're putting on, and their attempt to start the lynch mob against R. Kelly, entitled "Surviving R. Kelly." Like that title? Surviving R. Kelly. Trying to link this, survivors. I'm a survivor. You're turning all these fucking loose women and you're putting them on par with Holocaust, with Holocaust victims by calling them survivors. That's what they're trying to evoke here. They're trying to evoke the victim identity, the supreme victim identity. And, as for the last 50 years, that has always been the victims of the Holocaust. Now they're trying to co-opt that by calling themselves survivors. So, let's see. Surviving R. Kelly docuseries trailer is tough to watch by Crystal Franklin. Let's take a look at who Crystal Franklin is. Crystal Franklin. She's the TV One producer. We got her IG up, got her IG up. Ain't too bad. Not too bad. You looks all right. She looked like she is, she looked kind of bad. In a good way. Yeah, of course. Okay, I see you out here. Let's see. And yeah, let's see. So, yeah, she reports on Black Matters. That's who is reporting on this. Can't go too deep into it, but, that's Crystal Franklin. I think she went to an HBCU and all that stuff. And yeah. Okay, Crystal Franklin reports. Photo courtesy of a YouTube screenshot. Okay. Lifetime's a long-awaited docuseries that follow R. Kelly's decades-long accusations of sexual assault, child pornography, and now holding women hostage in a sex cult. Oh my God. Is finally here. The trailer opens up with a woman explaining about the multi-hyphenate superstar. There's a difference between R. Kelly and Robert. R. Kelly is this fun-loving guy, but Robert is the devil, end quote. Just scorn bitch media. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, my ex-boyfriend was so mean. Oh, my ex-boyfriend abused me. Oh, my ex-husband was such a... Okay, all right. Nobody was holding you against your will. You were a full-grown adult. You could have left. But you stuck around because you liked all the accoutrements of hanging out with, this supposed devil, Robert. Anyway, let's see. Gotta get on with this article. Article is annoying as hell to me. Just a second here. I'm gonna make this a little bit more tolerable for me. Just a second here. Hold on. All right. Okay. Sorry about that. My organization skills suck. Y'all already probably picked up on this already. Anyway, so all right. So I'm gonna make this a little bit more tolerable with this bleezy, with some herbage that I got from the homie Apollo Knight. You can go ahead and check him out on Instagram. Shout out to Apollo Knight. I was on set with him yesterday, and he hooked it up. Saved me a few bucks. Save me a few buckaroos. All right. Let's see. Over the past year, hashtag Mute R. Kelly, the hashtag Mute R. Kelly movement has gained traction, prompting Spotify to remove the singer from their playlist. They've since re-added him, and even causing nationally syndicated host Tom Joyner to ban the 51-year-old's music from his popular radio show. What a bitch, Tom Joyner. Never fucking with you again. Not that I fucked with you prior to that. I'm not a old ass butter biscuit, munching, church going, one of these step and fetch it Democrats out here. That's not me. I'm sorry about that. A little bit more sophisticated. Anyway, so let's see. Since then, more claims of sexual abuse have resurfaced, including Faith Rogers' allegation of R. Kelly giving her an STD. See, now that's all right. That's the supreme bullshit charge. This idea that I caught an STD from some guy a fucking, decades ago. That makes so many assumptions. First of all, you gotta assume that was the only dude that she was fucking. Sorry, I can't. How do we establish that? How do we establish that your genitals weren't, involved with somebody else's? You know what I mean? Whose clam did you lick? You know what I mean? Who knows if you got that STD from sharing a strap-on with a chick? You know what I mean? Who knows? Who knows how you got the STD? It's all, oh my God, I got an STD from R. Kelly. Get the fuck out of here. You don't even know where the fuck you get STDs from. See, this is like I was a chaste woman and I was ruined by R. Kelly. This is bullshit. Okay. Let's see. Shortly after R. Kelly released I Admit, a 19-minute song, coming clean of his demons. What a great song, by the way. I like that song. I heard it. An R. Kelly classic. You got to hear it too. I mean, I Admit by R. Kelly. I don't know where you're going to find it. I doubt it's going to be on Spotify, but you need to check it out. Anyway, so let's see. But it's this docuseries that will leave you shocked and maybe even a little disappointed if you're a fan. See that? They're trying to hurt your feelings and mess with your mind. Anyway, singer Sparkle, Kelly's ex-wife Andrea Kelly, and a host of others appear in the Surviving R. Kelly trailer, and it's heartbreaking. Watch below. Good Lord, I'm so glad that I'm roasting something, before watching this. I haven't checked out the preview, but I predict it's gonna be rife with anti-blackness. Let's take a look. Let's take a trip.
There's a difference between R. Kelly and Robert. R. Kelly's this fun, laughing, loving guy, but Robert is the devil.
R. Kelly is at the top of the charts, but he may be in for a fall. He was arrested today on 21 counts of child pornography.
Kelly is accused of videotaping himself having sex with an underage girl.
Taking advantage of minors will not be tolerated.
Jurors found him not guilty on all
right.
charges.
Robert has said all along he would be cleared of these terrible charges.
And he's not guilty.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
Oh my God.
Milk R. Kelly!
This is bullshit.
Milk R. Kelly!
I'm not chilled at all, by the way. I'm enraged.
We got a tip that she's here.
She's not in.
R. Kelly has denied accusations that he's holding women against their will in a sex cult.
And Dave said he loved you so much. I should have never introduced her to him. I should have never introduced my family to him.
Yeah, she looks trustworthy. Nothing says honest like a blonde
It was
weave.
very scary because I knew at that moment I had a secret.
Sparkle is alleged to have received significant payment.
I didn't take the money because I can't be bought. He ain't a
What
monster by
money?
himself.
Let's show the fucking, show me the receipts. See the receipts. I hope there's receipts. They better come with receipts on
I'm
this.
ready to get the hell out of there.
Black women don't get the same recognition as our white counterparts. And I wish that would change.
A grown man, 50-something years
So
old.
you, what do you, wait a second.
That's not acceptable, nowhere. Nowhere.
All right, this fucking lynch media. These we can do so much. We can do so much to tear each other down, and we can't do shit to lift each other up. That right there is probably one of the most disgusting things that I've ever seen. I mean, like, you retried him. You said that he's not guilty, and then you just went immediate to shame. Can we do something like this about Darren Wilson? Or how about we do something like this about, I don't know, about who's that dude in Ohio that just got rehired, that killed Tamir Rice? I think it was Timothy something. I want to say Timothy McGinty, but I think that's the DA that helped exonerate the officers involved with the murder of Eric Garner. Joe Pantaleo, I think that was the guy who choked him. I think that was the dude who choked him to death. And yes, so yeah, we got to get R. Kelly, for, this crimes that, he made a few girls feel bad. And, you hear that the agenda in this is to make it so that black women have the same power that white women have to initiate a lynching. And let me tell you something, girls. Those voices are not going to initiate any lynchings. Those voices right there, you know what you're going to have to do? You want a lynching, you're going to have to come with some facts. Well, you don't even need facts, I guess. You guys got a documentary and everything like that. You'll get your lynching one day. If you keep harping on this, I'm sure you'll get your lynching one day. Holy shit. Holy shit. A person who has no problem with lynching. I remember the lynching in, remember the lynching of Mike Brown. And there's no follow-up to where Darren Wilson is right now. There's no documentary about Darren Wilson, but, his defenders are out here making tons of money, saying stupid shit, saying racist shit, sorry. Not necessarily stupid, but racist, I'm not going to call the words of Megyn Kelly the other day. I'm not going to call them stupid because, it's very strategic and very smart, this system of white supremacy. I think that one of its biggest cheerleaders is Megyn Kelly. And, it's Halloween, and Megyn is just wondering, what's the big deal about blackface? Why can't we wear blackface? Vice News is reporting this, the racist rag, Vice News, founded by a racist and a suspected racist and a collaborator. But yeah, this is the writer, Rex Santos. Let's see what Rex is all about. This is Rex. A little blue check buddy. See your blue check buddy. Let's see. He's out here getting all the political stuff. So yeah, he's a blue check dude with money problems. All right. He's, I guess, on the other side of these things, of these, you know, the racists. They like to play on both sides of the fence. Just wondering what, reported on this. Megyn Kelly is just out here wondering what's going on. See, Megyn Kelly, by the way, if you haven't been following our program, she's the host of Megyn Kelly Today on NBC. NBC paid out a lot of money to get the top racist bitch on their airwaves. I mean, like, she was hired specifically to practice racism. That is the only thing that she has made her name doing. And that includes the Me Too campaign. By the way, the Me Too campaign is a racist affair. I mean, like, this is a racist white supremacist female affair. The males are involved as well, but I mean, like, yeah, it's their shit. It's their call for supremacy. They want to be able to supersede the standards of evidence, proof, you know, all of that stuff. They want their complaints to supersede that. And that's what all these movements are about. We want you know, your feelings to supersede evidence. By the way, you know, whenever they put racism on par with, you know, on parity with this, you know, feminism nonsense and everything like that. There's one thing about racism is that, you know, a lot of this is all, you know, evidence. You know, the evidence literally points to the existence of racism, and I for the life of me, am having a really difficult time trying to find out where white girls are having a tough time getting along. I mean, like, really. Really, I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, like, they can call hits on me. I mean, like, people who can call hits on my life, you know what I mean? Are they really doing that bad? You really doing that bad? Megyn Kelly's a bitch that will call a hit on a Negro's life. I'm telling you. Oh, man. That's a face that'll convict every time. Every time. Convict. Let's see. So, Rexantis writes, Megyn Kelly wonders, what's so bad about blackface? Megyn Kelly wants to know what's so wrong with a little tasteful blackface. In a segment titled Halloween Costume Crackdown that aired Tuesday on NBC News, Kelly, who once got extremely offended by the idea that Santa Claus wasn't white, put on her best Jerry Seinfeld impression to ask, what's the big deal about everyone getting so offended by blackface? What is racist? Kelly said. When I was a kid, it was okay, as long as you were dressing up as, like, a character. Now, check this out. We talked about this game that racists play in the past, and the new game is called Is It Racist? And Is It Racist seems to have evolved into what is racist. You know, white people will act like they have no idea what racism is. So, you know, I use the definition here that racism is a system of people who are classified as white, or who classify themselves as white, who are dedicated to subjugating and dominating people who are classified as non-white in the entire known universe. So, you know, anybody that they classify as non-white, you know, anywhere that you see on any corner of the planet, you know, the people who classify themselves as white are going to, you know, act in a system of people, you know, that are dedicated to, you know, subjugating and violating these people, you know. And yeah, that's racism, pretty much. Check this out. So here we have, you know, a group of white people talking about, you know, why it's okay to be racist and be in blackface and everything like that. And I don't know, it seems pretty fucking racist to me. Sorry, Megyn Kelly. I get R. Kelly. Why did I put R. Kelly and Megyn Kelly, the stories right next to each other? Anyway, here's the clip.
You still be able to dress like a moron.
But what is racist? Because truly, you do get in trouble if you are a white person who puts on blackface for Halloween, or a black person who puts on whiteface for Halloween. Like back when I was a kid, that was okay as long as you were dressing up as like a character.
If somebody feels like something is offensive to them, then you should say it, and that's fair game.
and
you should be able to take it if you're going to dress up like that.
Yeah, you got to be able to take it.
Yeah, one of the things I mentioned is people dressing up like Nazis and this. If you think it's offensive, it probably is.
Yep.
And one of my big complaints just about society right now is whatever happened, and I know how you were raised. I don't know how you were raised, but...
No, it's questionable.
Yeah. Whatever happened to just manners and polite society?
But on Halloween, you've got guys running around with fake axes coming out of their head.
But what I'm saying
it's gonna be jarring.
Right, but what I'm saying is, in polite society,
Megyn Kelly insists that, you know, Halloween has to be racist.
Dressing as a Nazi is okay. I don't need the PC.
Or painting somebody. I mean, I think that there are limits to how far you want to go.
But
Because if you're making people feel bad.
That's the president's daughter.
People.
She doesn't want to appear too racist.
I mean, I have a son.
She isn't going to call Megyn Kelly racist.
And then insisted on carrying the axe around for like a week.
But you know, there was controversy on.
No, go back to the Nazi shit, ladies.
Controversy on the Real Housewives of New York with Luann, as she dresses Diana Ross. And she made her skin look darker than it really is, and people said that that was racist.
It is.
I thought, like, who doesn't love Diana Ross? She wants to look like Diana Ross for one day. I don't know how like that got.
Do you have to be all racist about it?
I have not seen it, but it sounds a little racist to me.
Me too. And by the way, I haven't seen the other, but if she really wanted to look like Diana Ross, she should have dressed as Michael Jackson. Because they...
All right. Megyn Kelly is being saved by her crew. Like, every time Megyn gets it really, really racist, every time Megyn just insists on being really, really racist with her Nazi-looking self, I'm just going to say, good work on her buddies for kind of, you know, spinning the racism off and everything like that. Just flushing the racism off, not really addressing it. Like, when that point about, you know, I don't want people to think that it's okay to dress as Nazis. And then Megyn was like, she hit the little button underneath her desk and said, hey, deflect, deflect, deflect. And then the gay guy, see, they always have like a marginal looking, appearing, suspect to advocate for a point that resembles some semblance of justice. Like, I don't know, guys, why are we being so racist? And Megyn's just like, what do you mean racist? I love it. Just a bunch of white people talking about, you know, what's acceptable and what's not. And it's just as awkward and as racist as it appears. I mean, like, yeah, this is just, you know, I can't believe that this is a morning TV show. I don't watch morning TV, but yeah, this is what millions of Americans are watching every day. I don't watch any of this crap. You know, I don't watch TV. I watch YouTube all day. I mean, like, if I'm watching something, it'll be on YouTube or you know, X videos. So yeah, I don't know, man. To me, it's not a surprise that Megyn Kelly is getting her racism on, you know, and yeah, these people are, you know, this article just basically intros the video. That's all I needed. I just needed that video, you know. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just gonna say this. Pretty fucking ridiculous. What passes for entertainment, but you know, this is America, and that's what passes for fun and entertainment and comedy. You know, we all know the fuck is rude. It's like, it makes people feel a certain way. We know that black people just don't like it. We know that black people do not like blackface. And we know that white people enjoy pissing black people off. That's just what racism is all about, man. pissing you off with systems, making it okay to piss you off, you know, making it not okay to piss you off, and then complaining about it for a couple of years, and then, you know, just continuing to do the same thing the entire time, and then reinstituting it in laws. You know, they're going to reinstitute racism laws, by the way. Those are, you know, just blatantly racist laws. And it started with those pant-sagging laws that you guys thought were such a great idea, you idiots. Holy shit. I remember when those pant-sagging laws came into effect, I said, hold up, these are really racist and stupid. These are stupid-ass, racist-ass laws. And the first few ones were challenged, and then they just kept on writing them. And then, you know, people started putting, you know, and you go certain parts of towns, and they're just, you know, signs that say no pants sagging and everything. Like, what the fuck? And then now you got everybody rocking fruity booty, you know, ass-hugging jeans. And, you know, I know this for a fact because I rocked, you know, a pair of, you know, I think $400 Fruity Tooty scratch and sniff raspberry scented skinny jeans. Good Lord. Raspberry scented. Holy shit. Holy shit. Let's see. Now, you know what's funny is that, you know, that's what passes off as morning entertainment. You know, that's just what the, you know, on what they call the mainstream media. That was on NBC, you know. They were just advocating, you know, dressing up like a Nazi on national television. They said that that was cool. You know what I mean? And it's, you know, you're the PC police if you say it's not cool. And, you know, Megyn Kelly, the only point that she subsided was that, you know, yeah, she's going to have to deal with, you know, people getting upset over racist costumes. All right. That was the only point that she conceded. But, you know, everything else was just like, it stood. You know, everything else stood. You know, Laura Bush said, you know, she agrees that something was racist or something. I don't even know if she agreed if it was racist or not. I think that she just said, heard something was being declared racist and she agreed that it was. And that is the protocol for a very refined white supremacist. You always, 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 always agree. Just like, yeah, that was racist, sure. Now, don't do shit about it. keep doing it. Write it into law eventually, you know. After everybody gets used to it, just write it into law, you know. All of these bullshit ass calls to police officers, for instance, there's going to be written into law that that's okay. Watch. It's going to be written into law that it's against the law to harass these people who are in the process of making a 911 call. They're going to write that into law. They're going to call that obstruction. They're going to put that under the obstruction codes. Watch. Holy shit. These white supremacists are on one right now. They got their media doing what they call a full court press. So, one of the tactics that they're going to do to eventually get us to the point where they make it a law where you cannot harass somebody who is making a 911 phone call, and you know, and this is going to be specifically a rule, you know, to protect people who are making false calls to arrest, to circumvent, you know, what is becoming the national accepted behavior of videotaping, aggressively videotaping, and recording people who are in the process of making these false claim calls. You know, what's gonna happen, or you know, what's instrumental is comedy. So what they're gonna do is they've already made you think of these as funny incidences with the naming system that they have for these. You know, Corner Store Caroline instead of what is that, Teresa Klein. You know, the Barbecue Becky, who I think was the original one, and her name has been lost to obscurity. You know what I mean? I have to dig deep on the internet. Like, let's see. BBQ Becky name. Jennifer Schlutt. Okay, Jennifer Schlutt. See that? We don't even know the names of these people. We don't, we do remember the little euphemisms, the little euphemisms and shit. Garbage. All of these are just made to trivialize, to make these not seem as high gravity, these situations as high gravity as they, actually are. Like, they aren't attempted hits on black people's lives. Comedy is being used to make people, think that this is okay. This is just something that, you have to apologize for. Nothing that you have to serve time for. Absolutely not. And there's articles like this that are doing the job, in my estimation. Here we have, to the next BBQ Becky, don't fear. Whoa. 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 History. What the fuck? Just a second here. So stupid. Okay. Yeah, comedy. So we got fun jokes. A second here. We got fun jokes and it's Nicey Nash. I like Nicey Nash. He's cool. But, I mean, like, let's turn it into jokes.
No, look for a charcoal grill. No charcoal grills are allowed.
You're scared.
Please leave me alone.
You're white.
African American.
Illegally selling water without a permit?
But with cell phone cameras and social media, calling 911 on your black or brown neighbors just isn't what it used to be. Hi, I'm Nicey Nash, actress, inventor, and advocate for not calling 911 on black people for no goddamn reason. I'd like to introduce you to a radical new product that will save you all the headaches of being filmed and outed as a racist douche. It's called 1844 White Fear, and it's revolutionizing the way racist white people cope with black people living life near them.
1844 White Fear. There's a black guy outside my neighbor's house, and he's walking around.
Our experienced staff have been living while black in America their entire lives. Darren here is a former Obama aide who had the cops called on him for moving into his new apartment.
Yes, that is actually your neighbor Michael. Yeah, no problem.
Our records are actually showing that's actually his boat. Yeah, I know. Black people have boats too now.
Studies show that people of color are more likely to be arrested, convicted, and serve longer sentences than white people for similar crimes. So calling 911 for non-emergency situations is really just a move.
I got so scared when I saw a black guy walking around outside, and so I called 1844 White Fear, and it turns out we're neighbors, and I'm a racist.
Now, black people have been helping white people be better since always.
So, she's looking around and standing there?
Irregular frisbee or ultimate frisbee?
Call it when black people are having a barbecue, taking a nap in a rec room, mowing the lawn, waiting for a friend at a coffee shop, golfing, shopping, enjoying a vacation at their Airbnb, going to work, coming home from work, working while at work, campaigning for office, swimming with socks on, delivering newspapers, buying a house, selling water, parking their car, using a coupon, and so much more. 1844 White Fear. It's a real number For real white people who should mind their own damn business.
What's going on here?
Okay.
If you've been a victim of 911 harassment, please email us at 844-WYTFEAR@NYTimes.com.
Okay, so, they're about to, it's just, some jokes.
Fascist.
Okay.
People like to use...
All right. Damn. All right. So, yeah, all of that, the number checks out, the number checks out. It's a real number. You can call it and, have fun with that and everything. And, I'm sure they're collecting a whole bunch of stories at the NYTimes and everything. But the main thing they're going to take away from this campaign is that video. And that video. And, it calling the cops on black people a dick move because we're more likely to be arrested. No. We're more likely to be falsely arrested. See that? Falsely arrested. Falsely convicted. See that? If we're being arrested more, then that's fine, right? Because, it would be because we're committing more crimes. No. There's some bullshit crimes out there, or there's some bullshit arrests happening, and we have records of them. There's some bullshit convictions out there. We have records of them. I mean, you saw one with the Cosby trial. You see Cosby is a half-billionaire, and he's sitting in prison right now on bullshit charges that no half-billionaire should be even having to address. I'm just saying, it's just like, the reality is, we're in a system of white supremacy. And what they're doing is they're using their system, and part of their system is their media, and part of their media is their comedy apparatus, and they're using their comedy apparatus to turn this whole thing into a joke instead of addressing it for what it is, a hit. We're more likely to be murdered by people calling themselves law enforcement. Race soldiers calling themselves law enforcement. When you call the police on us for no reason, there is a reason. You want us dead. Pretty disgusting. In my opinion. All of it's pretty disgusting. Let's see. And I don't think it's very funny. I don't think did you see me laugh that whole time? I don't think I laughed the whole time. So, the news story, the news report, this white fear thing is pretty funny, because it's followed by this whole listing of different situations where racist people have assaulted black people on the record with 911 calls. This is not even like, the stuff that happens off the record and not without any, recordings. But, these are the few that, have been recorded and have caught national attention, And notice how there's no names. Not one. I don't know. I see all the, I don't see any names. It should say when James Baker, you need, anytime we report on this stuff, please just write the names of whoever it is you're talking about. I wrote Teresa Klein every single time I talked about Teresa Klein. While the name is still fresh in your head, while you still give a shit, because all this stuff, is in the past, whatever. This just happened in October, but still. Anyway, We'll finish off the... Oh, yeah. And by the way, you know, that's comedy. You know, black pain and suffering and all that stuff. You know, this is just pure comedy. Hilarious, you know. You know, I hope one day these type of jokes will be seen as if you made Holocaust jokes. The same way. I want them to be received the same way. With that same energy. That same how dare you energy. These are just flippant jokes that you can make about our pain and suffering. And get black people to do it. I love Nicey Nash. Got bills to pay, but god damn, this is some bullshit. That was some bullshit. Holy shit, that was some bullshit. You opted in for it, so some bullshit. Anyway, so yeah. Let's see, I don't know if, you know, if you're up on this, but a couple weekends ago, I believe, the Proud Boys, racist gang of white boys, and you know, they're kind of like political juggalos, you know, except they're actually violent. You know, the Juggalos are a gang, but these white boys, I mean, like, well, what do you mean, Proud Boys, you know? They're on that real gang shit. You know? They got this article. The second Proud Boys member arrested for NYC Brawl. Brawl, some Proud Boys. You know, they go into bars across the country and just start shit, you know. Walk in there, just start shit. Just start asking people, you know, questions and starting shit. Leave people alone. Fucking Proud Boys. So weak. Such bullshit. Anyway. Let's see. A second member of the far right. Wait a second. I want to see who wrote this. Okay, this is Caroline Lifton. Caroline Linton, sorry. She's a chick with a camera. Oh shit. I'm so interesting. You want to know about my photography? That's the chick, Aziz. That reminds this chick with a camera reminds me of Aziz. I don't know. That reminds me of Aziz. Anyway. Gotta find my. Alright, so that was who's reporting this. Okay, so a second member of the far-right group Proud Boys was arrested and arraigned Friday, 1 week after a violent brawl outside a New York City Republican club. The arrest came after the group's leader, Gavin McInnes, said he was arranging for the surrender of members wanted by the New York Police Department. John Kinsman, 39, was arrested Friday morning. He was charged with attempted gang assault, attempted assault, riot, criminal possession with a weapon, and at an arraignment Friday night. Prosecutors called Kinsman the single most vicious, end quote, member of the Proud Boys. New York Post reported. Let's see. NYPD said that they are still seeking 7 members of the Proud Boys in connection to the brawl after McInnes' speech at the Metropolitan Republican Club. Jeffrey Young, 38, was arrested Thursday. Oh, God. The NYPD told New York Times they have opened a, quote, regular criminal investigation, end quote, into the group. Ooh! Hey! Proud Boys done did it. Y'all are a gang, gang, gang. Gang, gang, gang. You gang? You definitely gang. You got them people on you, man. They said, we've opened a regular criminal investigation into the group. Ooh, a regular criminal investigation. God damn, you guys are just a common criminal scum. Gang, gang, gang. Isn't that right? Oh, shit. The altercation between Proud Boy members and anti-fascist protesters, or Antifa, broke out a block away when 6 people dressed in black wearing masks confronted the Proud Boys members. NYPD's chief of detectives, Dermot Shea, said Monday one of those dressed in black threw a bottle at the Proud Boys group, and a fight ensued about 38 seconds until uniformed officers intervened. Slurs and expletives can be heard in a video fight showing the fight as men kicked and punched several protesters on the sidewalk. The NYPD released footage Monday showing the altercation from an alternate angle in hopes identifying the participants. McGinnis told the Times the rest of the group members would soon be in custody. McGinnis, 48, who co-founded Vice Media, mind you, I told you, a racist founded Vice Media, so the rest are suspects and collaborators as far as I'm concerned. Let's see, and left the company in 2008, created the Proud Boys in 2016. The club's Facebook event for the speech described him as a rebel of the, quote, rebel of the right, end quote, and, quote, brand from Twitter, this godfather of the hipster movement has taken on and exposed the deep state socialists and stood up for Western values, end quote. And mind you, Western values is capitalized. WV. Let's see. Now, but the Southern Poverty Law Center says the Proud Boys and their leaders, quote, regularly spout white nationalist memes and maintain affiliations with known extremists, end quote. And Southern Poverty Law Center, I don't put too much stock into them. But yeah, Southern Poverty Law Center. Okay. Last week, the Metropolitan Republican Club defended their decision to invite McGinnis in a statement to BuzzFeed News. Gavin talk on Friday night, while at times was politically incorrect and a bit edgy, was certainly not inciting violence, end quote, the club official said in statement. Ahead of the speech, vandals smashed windows, filled a key lock with glue, and spray painted the doors of the Metropolitan Republican Club. A note left at the scene said the damage was just beginning. Interesting. Peter Martinez contributed to the report. All right, all those Antifa assholes are, getting it in with the who are those guys? The Proud Boys assholes. Let's see who comes out on top. Very interesting to bear witness to, and I really do hope a pox on both houses. Yeah. So that's basically it. I mean, the Proud Boys, they're on that list. I didn't hear shit about Antifa getting caught, so whatever. But yeah, those Proud Boys, they on that list, and it's a wrap for them. They're a few steps away from getting, three-letter interviews. Anyway, my name is Ken Steele, and I was happy to sesh with you guys. You know what I mean? It's just really cool. Stop calling these racist incidences by their little playful monikers, disgusting. What you want to do is you want to just get their real name. Anyway, my name is Steele, and it's been real. I will definitely check you guys out later. It's been cool. You guys, peace.